What if you could change your body's blueprint with just a sound? I know, it's a huge question, and it sits right where ancient wisdom and cutting-edge biology collide. So today, we're going to dive into this fascinating and, yeah, pretty controversial idea. Can a mantra really reprogram your DNA?
It is a bold claim, and for a lot of people, it sounds almost impossible. The idea that a focused sound could do more than just calm your mind, that it could actually interact with the code of life itself, our DNA. This is really the core idea behind a field called vibrational medicine, and it's exactly what we're going to unpack.
To even begin to get our heads around this, we have to start with a really foundational idea from the source material. This quote here says, "Manusha ka sharir koshakao ka samo nahi, balki chetan parmanuon ka ek divya sangatan hai." And that translates to, the human body is not a collection of cells, but a divine organization of conscious atoms. Now that one thought, it kind of reframes everything, because if your body's foundation is conscious energy, well then maybe it can be influenced by conscious tools, like sound.
Okay, so how do we bridge that gap between ancient philosophy and modern genetics? Well, it all starts by really defining the core problem that this whole theory is trying to solve in the first place.
According to this way of thinking, the real origin of many diseases isn't some virus or bacteria you catch from the outside. No, the problem starts from within. It's an internal imbalance, a kind of biological noise or static that's disrupting the harmony deep down inside ourselves.
So what exactly is this cellular chaos? What does that even mean? Let's get a clearer picture of it, because understanding this concept is really the key to the entire theory.
All right, so this brings us to the key definition here. Biological noise. Imagine a world-class orchestra, right? But every single musician is playing a totally different song, all at the same time. The chaos, well, that's basically what this theory suggests is happening inside our bodies. It proposes that this cellular dissonance, which is caused by things like stress and environmental toxins, is the real root of disease.
So, if the problem is dissonance, the solution has to be harmony. Simple enough. The theory says we need a tool that can create something called bioresonance. You can think of it like a perfect tuning fork for the body, one that's able to silence all that noise and bring the cellular orchestra back into a beautiful symphony.
And this is where we get to the very heart of the idea. The proposed tool to create this bioresonance isn't a pill or some complicated medical procedure. It's something much, much older and way more fundamental: sound.
Now, the specific tuning fork identified here is the Gayatri Mantra, but what's really interesting is how it's framed, not as a religious prayer, but as a precise sonic instrument. The theory is that its specific vibrational structure is what acts as that bioresonance tool, cleansing the biological noise. And you know, this idea does echo some early research, like a 1981 study from Dr. Fabien Malman, which looked into how different sound frequencies could physically affect the integrity of cells.
Okay, hold on. Sound affecting a cell's environment is one thing, but changing our actual DNA? That feels like a huge leap. The proposed bridge between these two ideas comes from a pretty revolutionary field in biology: epigenetics.
So, pioneers in this field, people like Dr. Bruce Lipton, have really popularized this idea that our genes aren't our destiny. Epigenetics basically shows us that signals from our environment, everything from stress to what we eat to even our thoughts, can change how our genes are expressed. They can essentially turn genes on or off like light switches.
This comparison really breaks it down perfectly. Think of your genetics, your DNA, as the computer's hardware. Is the physical machine, it's pretty much fixed. Epigenetics, on the other hand, is the software. It's the program that tells the hardware which files to open and which ones to ignore. So the argument here is that a specific sound, when used with intention, can act like a command in that software, changing which genes get read.
Okay, so how exactly is the Gayatri Mantra supposed to work in this epigenetic model? Well, according to the source material, the whole mechanism hinges on one very specific number: 24.
You see, the Gayatri Mantra is made up of 24 distinct syllables. And the hypothesis here is that this 24-part structure is not random at all. It's a specific vibrational code. This code is believed to resonate with our DNA to fix something called torsional stress. A good way to picture it is to imagine a rubber band that's been twisted way too tightly. That's kind of like torsional stress on a DNA helix. This theory suggests these 24 sonic pulses help the strand gently unwind and repair that physical strain.
So we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get into the how. The source material outlines a very specific protocol that's designed to put all of these principles into practice.
The foundation of this entire practice comes down to this number, 20. We're talking about a 20-second inhale followed by a 20-second exhale. This incredibly slow, deliberate breathing is thought to create a state of biological coherence, where the rhythms of your heart, your brain, and your nervous system all start to sync up and align. So here's the practice itself, laid out step by step. It's a 35-minute meditation. First, you find a quiet space. Then you get that slow breath going, 20 seconds in, 20 seconds out. As you keep that rhythm, you silently chant the mantra inside your head. And this next part is absolutely key. You have to actively visualize the sound. Picture the syllables themselves moving through your bloodstream, bringing harmony to every cell they touch. And you just continue this for the full 35 minutes.
When you step back, this whole practice really points to one powerful idea, that our bodies have a kind of built-in pharmacy, this profound capacity for self-healing. And maybe, just maybe, we have these ancient tools that can help us consciously unlock it.
This entire framework falls under the umbrella of what's known as vibrational medicine. It's a field that views the body primarily as an energy system, and it suggests that health can be restored by correcting energetic imbalances, using tools like sound, light, and even just focused thought.
So let's put all the pieces together in one place. The process starts with cellular detox, using that bioresonance to flush out the biological noise. This, in theory, allows for DNA repair, as epigenetic signals from the sound are said to correct the physical DNA strand. This is all done while you're in a state of coherence, which you get from the slow breathing. And the ultimate goal? Reprogramming, using consistent practice to reinforce healthy genetic expression over the long term.
And this brings us full circle, right back to this final quote from the source, Koshikaon ki jivanta hi arogya ka muldar hai, which translates to, the vitality of the cells is the fundamental basis of health. The ultimate message here is that true health isn't just about not being sick. It's about the presence of vibrant life at the most fundamental level of our being.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. Look, whether you accept this specific theory or not, it does bring up a really powerful question about our own internal environment. As the slide says, if sound is a key to our biology, what song are you playing for your cells?
And finally, a very important disclaimer. While the ideas we've explored today are really fascinating, they are intended as a supportive practice for your well-being. This should never, ever be used as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please always consult a healthcare professional for any health concerns you might have. Thanks for exploring this topic with us.